Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So happy to have you with us this evening. We begin together in song with Maya Fe Hayom. Maya Fe Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Fe Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Maya Fe Hayom. Shabbat, Shalom. Maya Fe Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. A reading from my colleague, Rabbi Zoe Klein Miles. On Shabbat, we would light 2 candles, one for remembering Shabbat and one for observing Shabbat. Tonight we light 2 candles, this one for building 1, this one for building 2. This one for the Pentagon and this one for Pittsburgh. This one for the hundreds of firefighters, this one for the hundreds of police. This one for all the men and this one for all the women. This one for all the girls and this one for all the boys. And these candles for the husband and wife who left out of the tower holding hands. This one for our luck running out, this one for the New York skyline, this one for the walking wounded, this one for the critically wounded, this one for the survivors, this one for the dead, this candle for building 1, this candle for building 2. We join together on 120 as we light the Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who holds us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. We continue together with Hine Matov. Next slide. Thank you. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 We continue together. The psalmist wrote of your greatness. My ancestors wrote of your greatness. The poets wrote of your greatness. Who am I to think that I have words to describe you, you who are beyond human understanding? Tonight I call you Hamakom, the place, for you are with me now and always. Maybe tonight this is enough. We continue together in song with the Chadodi, 138 and 139, as we welcome the Sabbath bride. Lechadoti likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Lechadoti likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Yishmi'anu el echad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad. L'shemo tiferet belitila. Lechadoti likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lehu v'nelcha. Ki mekor habracha. Merosh mikadem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'mashavat tehila. Lechadoti likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri. Kiva ure kumi uri. Uri, uri. Shirda beri. Kavod Adonai like nigla. Lechadoti likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. We rise for verse 9 and face the entrance as we welcome the Sabbath bride. Boi v'shalom ateret bala. Gam besimcha u'vetzochola. Toch emunei am segula. Boi chala. Lechadoti likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Lechadoti likrat kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. We welcome one another in the name, we welcome one another. Shabbat Shalom. It's lovely to have you with me, whether in person or online. Please do introduce yourselves if you're new in the chat. We'd love to know that you are with us. We continue together on 140 with Mizmor Shir. You may be seated. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, Tov Lehodot LaAdonai, U'lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon, U'lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon, Lehagid Baboker Chasdacha, Ve'emunacha Balelot, Ale Yasur ve'ale navel, Ale higayon bechinor. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot LaAdonai, U'lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon, U'lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon. Hisamachtani Adonai b'fo'lecha, b'ma'aseh yadecha aranein. Magadlo ma'asecha Adonai me'od amku machshevotecha. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot LaAdonai, U'lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon, U'lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon. Turn to 142 for Shalom Aleichem as we welcome the angels of Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem, Malechei HaSharet, Malechei Elyon, Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Boechem l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Barchuni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Tzeidchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time. Even as unlikely times and through unlikely places, there is no place on earth without the presence. We continue together with the Chatzi Kaddish 144. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechonu v'yomechon U'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael Bagala bagala Uvizman karib V'meru amen Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Olamei Maya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yitale V'yitalal Shmei D'Kudusha B'richu Leila Minko Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata lamiran be'alma v'meru. Amen. We rise as we prepare for the Baruch, our call to worship, 146. We begin with Noah Aronson's words, "Am I awake?" A kavanah, an intention setting as we prepare for this part of our service. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla lie lie lie, 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 yalla lie lie lie. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lie lie lie, 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 yalla lie lie lie. We continue together in the middle of 149. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. 150. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ochev amo Yisrael. Let's all take a big, deep breath together. In and out. And in and out. As we release some of the tension of the week, as we prepare to recite the Shema, the watchword of our faith. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. We continue with V'ahavta 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha u'bechol nafshecha u'bechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlachtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam leot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. The top of 157. We read together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. We join together in song with Mi Chamocha, 158. Yai lai lai, yai lai la 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 la, yai lai lai lai, ya la 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 la, yai lai lai, yai lai la 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 la, yai lai lai lai, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neda b'kodesh, nora tehillah osei felech. Nora tehillah osei felech. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze Elianu ve'amru, Ze Elianu ve'amru. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. In the evening versus the morning service, we insert a prayer at this point. We insert Hashkivenu, our prayer for safety in the night, our prayer for protection. Our ancestors, even with fire, found the darkness brought out the worst in people. Right? The walk home at the end of the night in the dark could be a scary and threatening place. So we pray as they did in 160. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and rise us up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. God, our going and coming, to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haparei sukkot shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue in joyous song with Vishamru, 162. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Every word of one's prayer should be like a rose that is picked from a bush. One gathers rows upon rows until a bouquet is formed and can be offered to God as a beautiful blessing. Nachman of Breslov. We continue with the Amidah, our standing prayer, the central prayer of our worship. We begin in 164. Adonai sifatai tiftachu v'yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. Melech Ozer Moshia Umagen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav LaHoshia, Morid Hatal. Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Baal Givurot, Omido Melech, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatmiach Yeshua, Ne'eman Ata L'chayot Hakol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, Kadoshim V'chol Yom Yelucha Selah, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated. We continue together in the top of 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat. The middle of 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. When anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha bir'ah na'avod. Together on the top of 177. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulcha na'eh lahodot. We continue together with our prayer for peace, Shalom Rav, 178. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol ed uvechol sha'a bishlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Habarech et Amo Yisrael, Bashalom. We continue with silent prayer, the words on 180 and 181, the words of your hearts. Yehiyu leratson imrefi, vehayon libi lefanecha. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri. Vegoali, Vegoali. Ose Shalom Bimromav, Oyase Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Imru, Amen. Yahaseh Shalom, Yahaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh Shalom, Yahaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. At this time in our service, our thoughts turn to those in our community, in our families, in our hearts who are in need of healing, of body, of mind, or of spirit. If you're thinking of someone and you'd like to share their name, please feel free to do so in the chat or aloud. Al, Nora, Rania, Dennis, Judy, Haley, Amy, Sam, Jim, May, Mark, Nancy, Galen's mom, Jason C's family. We continue together with Misha Barach. Misha Barach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema. us say, Amen. Next slide. This week, we read from a double portion, Nitzavim Va'elech. Rabbi Lenore Baum writes regarding these words, the word Nitzavim refers to standing, and the word Va'elech means and he walked. This combination presents us with a useful paradigm for our lives. There are times to stop and times to move. There are moments to remain steadfast and moments to release. Stasis provides security, but without occasional reappraisal, there can be no growth. This time of year, as we approach Rosh Hashanah, the head of the year, next Shabbat, we take time to stop, to think, and to move towards improvement in all aspects of our lives. One aspect that I hope we will consider working on this year and for all the years to come is racial justice. This week was named Black Jewish Unity Week by the American Jewish Committee in partnership with the National Urban League. We have work to do, and one of those who is doing the work of calling people to task is April Baskin, a former vice president of the Union for Reform Judaism. She is the founder of Joyous Justice. As a Black Jewish woman, she recognizes the need for the Jewish community to work on issues of racism and privilege. She shared in an email campaign this week the following. Shame researcher Brene Brown has taught us that perfectionism can be paralyzing, preventing people from sharing their gifts with the world. Perfectionism is a characteristic of white dominant or white supremacy culture, and it also regularly stymies the work of racial justice. People with white privilege may think, I'm so afraid I'm going to say the wrong thing. It's better to not say anything at all. The problem is, perfectionism-induced silence or self-censorship in the face of injustice becomes complicity with oppression. People of color may focus so much on contradicting, dehumanizing stereotypes by being at least twice as good, aka playing the black tax, or by presenting as perfect. They may be unable to engage with their whole selves or access the rest, relief, or self-compassion they may desperately need. We need to cultivate enough courage and love with the support of friends and community to face and address this particular manifestation of internalized racial oppression. Baskin is one of many individuals working towards a world that recognizes the horror of racism and the pain of recognizing the privilege white people have in this country. Jews who are white have benefited from racism. Our Torah teaches us this week that we have a choice in how we act in the world. We can choose the way of blessings or the way of curses. By choosing every moment of every day to be actively anti-racist, we are choosing the path of blessing. Today is also a significant day in the history of our country, for it is September 11th. 19 years since the towers fell in New York, 19 years since the planes crashed into the field in Pennsylvania and into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. 19 years since close to 3,000 people lost their lives to terror. 19 years since our country went to war against terrorism. We remember the lives lost, the lives changed forever. We remember all those in the military who have lost their lives in the war against terror. We recognize the pain and suffering of our neighbors who were targeted for their faith, their perceived faith, their skin color after the devastating attacks. We recognize that we have more work to do, and we take the time to mourn. In the words of poet Alden Solovey, Creator of all, source and shelter, grant a perfect rest under your tabernacle of peace to those who died in the 9/11 attacks on the United States. Remember the works of their hands and the message of their hearts. Grant their families peace and comfort for your name's sake, and for the sake of those who perished. Bring an end to violence and terror speedily in our days. May their memories be sanctified with joy and love. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life, a living blessing in our midst. And we say, Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be your will that it be so. Shabbat Shalom. We continue together with the Aleinu. We rise in body or spirit. 586. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gdula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu koe haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים עמאו, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, בארץ מתחת, אין עוד. Together on the top of 591, we read, May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river of understanding. Loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. We remember our people who suffered and died so that we could be free and secure. May their memory be more than a distant shadow. For their dreams left unfulfilled and lives taken too soon, we remember. Remember our brothers and sisters whose sacrifice kept the dream of democracy and justice alive. May their courage be our inspiration and strength. For life cut short and vision unrealized, we remember. Remember the fallen of our armed services, the victims of terror and tragedy. May the darkness of their loss not obscure the light of peace. They were in love with our land and in love with life. For the agony, the tears, the mothers and the fathers, for the children who were and for the children yet to be, we remember. If you have names to add to the yard site, please feel free to do so in the chat or aloud. We are thinking of the yard sites of Julius Albert, Milton Brower, Samuel Cohen, Harvey Kamer, Margaret Denenfeld, Charles Fisher, Frank Friedland, Lowell Jeanbach, Florence Gershenson, Paul Ernst Hartenstein, Alice Katz, Goldie Kerman, Minette Halpern Leba, David Lozer, James McDonald, Ida Mostofsky, Charlotte Nelson, Mildred Ragazzino, Rosalind Rezig, Leonard Z. Sachs, Fred Sellin, Murray Shapiro, Clara Siegel, Leon Slavin, Seymour Slater, Eleanor Skolnick, Shirley Snyderman, and Ruth Stein. To these names, we add all those who were lost in the towers, in the plane crashes, in our war on terror. We turn to page 598 and rise for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala uzman karib v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulomel maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shmei d'kudusha brechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, v'amiran be'elma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Hosei shalom b'imrumav, huya se shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. Please be seated. Just a few announcements. Thank you. Next slide. Weekly email on Mondays, but we've got lots happening actually. So tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Services on Zoom, followed by tech study. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. live stream on YouTube. Our Slichot service starting with Havdalah. Short and sweet. There will be music. I hope some of you will join us. So at 7 p.m. Religious school starts on Sunday. If you have any questions, Nora's the person to ask. But everyone should have received directions and know what's happening on Sunday. We are completely virtual. Friday is Rosh Hashanah at 7:30 p.m. is when we're going to begin our Rosh Hashanah and Shabbat service here on YouTube, all fully virtual. We hope many of you will join us. And then morning services will begin at 10 a.m. also here on YouTube. We also have a children's service on Saturday next week at 4 p.m. It is on Zoom, so it will be interactive. There are also Tashlich opportunities all on your own, of course, with social distancing encouraged. But if you would like a walking meditation or a simple ceremony ritual to do, I'm sorry, it's gotten very loud here with people driving by. There are all links on our website on the Watch TBI page. So lots of things happening. Anything on Zoom does need to be registered for. That is the link that is on that page. And then Zoom will send you a login information directly. We're hoping to make sure everyone has access. If you are not a member and would like to join us, you are more than welcome. If you need login information, please do reach out to our office. You can email admin, ADMIN, at templebeneisrael.com. So our full name.com. But yes, lots of things coming up, and we hope you will join us for the holidays or for religious school and everything else that's happening. So 10 o'clock tomorrow, 7 p.m. tomorrow. Other things, book club is reading The Jew and the Lotus. They'll be meeting Thursday, October 15th at 7 p.m. on Zoom. For more information, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, everything is in the newsletter, weekly email, or on our website. We are going to conclude together with a new, well, not new, but a different concluding song, a Hot Sha'alti from Psalm 27, which is traditionally recited during Elul and the high holidays. It can be found in 662. Achat sha'alti meit Adonai otavakesh. Achat sha'alti meit Adonai otavakesh. Shifti b'veit Adonai kol yamei hayai. Lahazar banoam Adonai uvaker bechelo. Achal sha'alti meit Adonai otavakesh. Achal sha'alti meit Adonai otavakesh. One thing I ask of Adonai, only that do I seek, to live in the house of Adonai all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of Adonai, and to frequent God's temple. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining me this evening, and we look forward to seeing you soon.